Valley Park Flood Management Project.
Now, I'm thinking the pictures that they had on the news could actually show everybody because of this overpass.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop this. All right, so this is the scene where my first cousin Marcus Wanzo, was just found dead by Clayton Matul, who's a child sex offender. Robert Allen, he's also, car thieves. Another sex offender named Lawrence Rhodes found him over here. And a guy named Robert Allen James. If you go to his Facebook, he's got KKK flags on his page. They found him right here. I'm about to hop this. This is where they found my cousin dead. So four white males found him dead right here. 2 days after the Rittenhouse trial, on the 20th of November. The detectives have failed to investigate them. Even though that if you go to their Facebook right now, you type in Robert Allen James, you'll see KKK stuff on his page. Him and his homies were here. They were right here. The police never even investigated this area. I'm gonna go up here. There could be gang stuff right here. Let's see. I'm investigating my cousin's death. Nobody's doing it. We're gonna have to hire a private investigator, but this can help the investigator. We're getting hired a black private investigator, see what's going on. All right. So we can ascertain this is a hangout spot. People hang out here. There's graffiti artists out here. But for those that are just tuning in, this is where my cousin was found dead. His body was found dead in the water right here on November 20th, 2 days after the Rittenhouse verdict. A guy with KKK stuff in his face on his Facebook page sent my mom a picture of Marcus's body floating in the river through Facebook. Like, if you have KKK stuff on your page, why would you go to a 70-year-old black woman's page and send her a picture of a dead man's body floating in the river? I don't fall for that Cartoon Network, trench coat, wizardry, white supremacy stuff. He literally has KKK stuff on his page. And Detective Solomeski, our family had to report him, to the internal affairs because he was saying that he has a freedom of speech. They don't need to investigate the guys that found his body right here. So 2 sex offenders, a stalker, and a guy with no criminal record found my cousin's body right here, and they're not investigating these 4 Caucasian gentlemen, right? And his grandfather is Reverend Willie Wanzo, a pillar of the black community in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's got a street named after him on Burleigh. Part of Burleigh's name, Reverend Willie D. Wanzo. And he raised Marcus. And he passed away, but Marcus was just found in this river. The news isn't covering this. They're covering this up. Even Black Lives Matter Milwaukee's covering this up. I've been contacting all the news outlets. They've been, they're not telling his name. TMJ's not saying his name. Fox isn't saying his name in Milwaukee, and CBS isn't saying his name. All right, so I'm gonna go. So his name is Marcus Wanzo Jr. He was found dead right here. So these guys found him right here in the river. So we're gonna go down here, but I'm gonna step back first and look for the best point to get in. That looks like the best point where people get in, but let me see if I can get in another easier way over here. I'm also surveying the area. I'm gonna have, our family, we're having a private investigator come back out here. But this is where three Caucasian male felons and their friend with no criminal record, they found my cousin dead right here, my first cousin. So this looks like the spot where people probably come in here the most. So I'm gonna put this phone down for a sec. All right, we're down here. So for those that are just tuning in, you can go to their YouTube pages right now. The people that found him dead, they found him right here. The detectives they never even had anybody search the river. They just found another black male dead in the river. They haven't announced his names. They reported him on 3 networks, on TMJ, Milwaukee, CBS, and Fox. And, they're not saying his name. They're just saying 29-year-old dead. But they found him right here by these rocks. Because there's no rocks at this point. It wasn't this far. I feel like the picture of the dead body we saw, this guy that's a stalker, he's literally paying somebody like $40, $51 a month maybe in restitution for stalking them on the internet. This is the guy, Robert Allen James. You can go to his page right now on Facebook. He's got 2 KKK flags, literal KKK flags on his page. So they found him by these rocks. Because, the picture, I'm not going that other direction because the stuff we saw was over here by these rocks. So his body got caught up over here. But the river was lower then. Pretty sure. But I'm gonna walk down here. I'm gonna come right back just to check around. But there's also other persons of interest, obviously. So we just had his funeral today, and another person of interest is Jason Hunt, Latricia Hunt, aka Pebbles. You can go to Pebbles Harmon. She just kidnapped 2 black children. She's a queer lesbian woman that just kidnapped Melissa Marcus's ex-girlfriend's 2 children a month ago. Her and her mother did that, Regina Harmon. They just kidnapped, Melissa's children. She had to have CPS recover the children. Latricia used to be her babysitter and caretaker of her older kid, and she had fired her in June, but a month and a half ago, Regina Harmon and Latricia Hunt broke into Melissa's house and took her children with the old key that they have from when they were her babysitters. And she was out of town actually doing a Netflix deal, and she had to have CPS recover her children. So they weren't allowed at the funeral today, Latricia Hunt and Regina Harmon. But, and her son, Jason Hunt was not allowed too. They've all, threatened Marcus. They're all persons of interest within this investigation. But now funeral's over. So, I'm going to be going, public about this stuff because this is really messed up. But I'm surveying this. This is not where we saw the body. Didn't seem to be over here. I didn't see this graffiti. I would have recognized this graffiti. So this is the Menominee River, a smaller section. There's the actual Menominee River is, dividing Michigan and Wisconsin, but you know, we're here at another part of the Menominee River. So this is where they found his body, right here. It looks like this is where it thins out. And it gets more shallow right here. So they had a crowbar in the video. They had a crowbar, and we're gonna bring all that video up. I'm gonna do, you know, full investigations on, you know, they have a video of them picking up a crowbar over here. That's what I've been looking for, a crowbar. Because those 4 guys that found him, they told me, you know, I called one of them. I called up on Facebook. I called up Sean, the one that has no criminal record, and told him about the other ones. And you know, he's in a video picking up a bar, you know, and you know, they told me and my mom and multiple people that Marcus had a concussion, but the medical examiner is saying he has no concussion. You know, it's like, what's going on here? Dude was literally playing with the crowbar. I don't see any crowbar. He picked it up and dropped it down. I doubt people have been here since then. It's like, yeah, it looks like people hang out, but it's cold outside. You know, it's only been since November 20th. Now, it could have been over here too, but because it was, I thought it was here. I didn't see a dome. I thought it was here, but I don't see any, yeah, it wasn't here, because that's like the river starts back up. You can see there's like this shallow area here. It's a controlled shallow area, and the river starts back up. So it wasn't up here, but I'm gonna still look for this crowbar. I didn't see any. He has a crowbar in the video. So these guys do this thing called magnet fishing, where they go into rivers and they have a magnet fishing crew. They have these different crews, you know. They do magnet fishing and they throw a magnet into the river, and you know, they pull out junk, and then they, you know, sell the junk and you know, melt it down or whatever. But these guys all have criminal records that found him. 2 sex offenders and a cyber stalker found my cousin dead in this, right here where I am right now. We're about to hire a private investigator, but you know, I'm gonna have him survey this area, you know, getting stuff ready for him, prepping it up. But I have to go to the press now, because nobody's talking about it. There's 3 news articles and they're not saying his name, you know. And his, you know, the person picking up a crowbar right here, and he drops the crowbar right here. Now, do you guys think that a crowbar sitting right here, he drops it right here, y'all think that's that since November 20th, somebody's gonna pick up a random crowbar that's sitting right here since November 20th? So we'll see if Solomeski has that. Solomeski is the detective on this case, who told us that Robert Allen James is allowed to have two KKK flags on his Facebook page. If you go right now, he's got a public page, Robert Allen James. He's got KKK on his Facebook. So yeah, this is where they found his body, and that's where the river thing is. But we're gonna line up the videos. You know, these guys, they have extensive criminal records, from cyber stalking to sexual predators, the guys that found him, and they're Caucasian males. So the Polish detective that is assigned to the case, he said, you know, that's their freedom of speech. So, you know, that's why our family had to do a internal affairs thing. All right, so I'm gonna put this down and hop up this wall. All right, so there we are. That's where they found him. So that's the physical investigation of the area. We didn't see the crowbar on the video. Y'all gonna see the actual video. It's like rat holes right there. People don't come out here. I'm just ascertaining that, you know, some people hit some graffiti. But yeah, maybe youths come out here and chill. But it doesn't seem like there's a lot of trash out there. So right now we're at Milwaukee at the Menominee River. I believe it's the 400 block. We're right by like Potawatomi Bingo. All right, peace. This is just part one of the investigation of my first cousin Marcus Wanzo's death. Peace. All right, now this is important. Now we see somebody walking right here. He could have been walking with somebody and somebody pushed him. Somebody could have pushed him down here. He could have been like, yeah, I'll show you how to get here. Let's go this way. Or he could have been walking like here and he walked into some people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is like only, you know, one person can pass through this. So we see. He could have fallen that way too. So this is all for the detective. This is another possibility.